Young Jin-sup left the room in a fit of anger. No one seemed to care, but Woosung followed him. Woosung understood something crucial after all. Young Jin-sup still has a personal asset of $150 million. I need to take that away from him too. Woosung followed him determinedly. Woosung said to Young Jin-sup apologetically, I am so sorry. It's all my fault. I sold the stocks. Young Jin-sup sighed deeply. Woosung continued, the stock price went down so much that I had to do it. I really didn't expect something like this to happen. There was no way you would have known that. Well, I still have the money from selling the stocks and my father still has 34% left, so we will try to do something with it. The price is still low, so you can buy them back. I am doing that already, but there aren't a lot of stocks available, so I can only buy little at a time. I also don't want to raise the price by buying too quickly too much. That makes sense. I think we can take back the company soon. Woosung thought with a grin. Sure, I would love to see you try. They went for a drink as usual. Young Jin-sup drank heavily and groped the women around him shamelessly as expected. All the people at the company are idiots. I should have been harder on them. Don't they know they are all replaceable? Woosung sipped on his whiskey and listened. Young Jin-sup continued, I reprimanded them only because their product was garbage. If Kwok Mingu wasn't my father's friend, would have fired him a long time ago. Look what happened now. He betrayed us. You should have never helped anyone. That's right. Most people will betray you if they get a chance. You can never trust anyone. Always be careful. I will. And the amount of experience doesn't necessarily correlate to your skills. He accused me of being a new grad. Well, he graduated from a mediocre college. Young Jin-sup was drunk and angry. He used unsavory profanities. Woosung frowned and asked, but don't you sometimes need experiences for certain things? Young Jin-sup answered, sure, but you know what? If you are a genius, you don't need any experience. Woosung stopped himself from laughing hilariously and replied, I guess that's true. Young Jin-sup pointed at himself. I am that person. I am super smart. I graduated from Seoul University, the best in the country. While Woosung struggled not to laugh, the woman beside Young Jin-sup exclaimed, wow, Appa. You graduated from Seoul University? That's amazing. Haha, that's right. I'm great. Oh my. You're awesome. Woosung took another sip of his whiskey and thought. What a joke. Young Jin-sup continued his drunken boasting, all my classmates became lawyers and judges. Woosung nodded sloppily just to keep him happy. Young Jin-sup suddenly turned serious and asked Woosung, I have a favor to ask of you. Tell me. I will be direct. I need money to buy back the company shares. Woosung has been waiting for this, but he pretended to feel uncomfortable with the idea. I can't, not without a solid collateral. I trust you, of course, but this is a different matter. Hey, I can give you a collateral. Who do you think I am? All I ask is to give me a low interest. Due to the financial crisis, the prime interest rate at most banks was over 5%. If you wanted to borrow $10 million, the yearly interest payment alone would be $500,000. Young Jin-sup didn't want to pay this much interest. If Woosung could provide the money at 1% like the first time, he could save a lot of money. Woosung replied, if you have a collateral, then it's possible. Woosung waited. He wanted to know what kind of secret assets Young Jin-sup had. MOX's office building is actually under my name. For tax purposes, it is being run by a fake asset management company, but I own that company. Oh. The building was worth about $60 million. Young Jin-sup asked, with that building as a collateral, would you be able to lend me $50 million at 1% interest rate? Haha, of course. I felt bad about the current situation, so this isn't a problem. Ha ha ha, I love you. You're the man. The women sitting around them gawked. $50 million. These men were clearly rich. One of the women sat closer to Woosung. Wow, you're super rich. Young Jin Sup started to drink again and announced, call in the band. Let's have a party tonight. It's all on me. Woosung nodded and took another sip. All he could think about was what young Jin Sup would look like when he realizes he made a huge mistake. The next day, Woosung met with Alex in secret. Alex asked, so when you call me, I need to move the IP, intellectual property, of all the games from MOX including Legend and FPS to DNK? Not just the game IPs but also all the key developers. You want to destroy the company completely. I get it. It's just a business. Wouldn't the government authorities object or intervene? We aren't doing anything illegal, so they can't do anything about it. The only people I worry about are the minor shareholders, but it will work out in the end. I will do whatever you ask, of course. Just make sure to prepare for it in secret. The stock price needs to continue to rise at this point. Don't worry, I will do a perfect job. Don't forget to spread the news to the media about this takeover. I want the stock price to go up faster. Use the DNK company card for all your expenses in Korea, including the personal ones. I don't care how much it costs. Thanks, boss. It's all because you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. Yoon Gwon was responsible for operating the real-time winning stock recommendation algorithm. He sat down in front of the computer and looked over the list. So today's stock is MOX. It did hit the bottom recently. Only a while back, it was at $40, but now it was at $10 mark. Now, suddenly, it was starting to soar fast. The only news it had was its takeover by a company named DNK. It wasn't that the Legend sales went up, or the new game was released. Yet the stock price was still going up. 12.50. 13.00. The day ended with it at $13.80. The system had predicted it to continue rising the next day. It recommended to hold the stocks. After the market closed, Yoon Gwon grinned. $50 million in Korean market. $50 million in US market. The total initial investment of $100 million was now at $150 million. It was an amazing profit. Yoon Gwon expected to get at least $100,000 in incentive this year. $100,000. He couldn't help but smile. Yoon Gwon turned to Jang Guangchul and asked, hey, do you have any plans for tonight? Let's go for a drink. It's on me. Jang Guangchul ignored him and walked into Woosung's office. Yoon Gwon murmured, that's strange, he never says no to drinks. Woosung's office. Jang Guangchul pointed at the newspaper and accused Woosung. This is you, isn't it? Pardon? DNK taking over MOX, this is you. DNK sounded so familiar. Woosung denied it one more time, but Jang Guangchul didn't buy it. DNK and KND. So obvious. I also noticed that all the MOX stocks owned by KND were moved to DNK. Woosung remained silent. He wondered if he should tell him the truth. After a few minutes, Woosung decided he could trust Jang Guangchul. You're right. I am behind everything. Ha. I can't believe it. Ha. I knew you had an ulterior motive for going to America. Also, after a pause, Jang Guangchul continued. Dubai shock. That was it, wasn't it? You saw it in your dream, and you created DNK and took over MOX. That's right. I meant to tell you, but I haven't found the right time. I. Jang Guangchul felt betrayed. He was hoping Woosung would give him these kinds of information so he could make money too. I get information from my dreams. What if they are wrong? I didn't want you to lose money because of me. I would never blame you. I trust you now. So from now on, let me in on your predictions, or I can give you my money so you can invest it for me. Why don't you use the algorithm trading system General Manager Yoon is operating? Its profit is at 50%. But your profit rate is usually over 100%. Not always. Don't lie to me. Jang Guangchul was getting angry. Woosung finally answered, "Oh, alright, but you can't blame me if I get it wrong." "Fine, fine. Tell me now then. I haven't seen anything for 2010 yet. I will let you know when it happens." Gamers were happy with the change in MOX's executives. A new rule was set where users' complaints and demands were addressed. Most of all the castle's tax rates were lowered. Many gamers finally returned to the game and MOX's stock price continued to go up. It also helped that young Jin Sup and his father bought huge lots of stocks in an attempt to get the company back. After a few days, the price finally went up to $20. A notice of disclosure was made one day. Change in major shareholder equity, Young Hyesung 34%-36.7%, investment purpose. Woosung knew young Jin Sup probably owned a significant number of shares by now. Following the 5% rule, Woosung expected a notice soon. At that time, the father and son will call for another shareholders meeting for a counterattack. Woosung remembered his recent phone call with Alex. "Boss, everything's in order. All you have to do now is sign off." "Alright." It was the order to transfer Legends and the new developing games IPs to DNK. Woosung was holding off on signing the documents until young Jin Sup announced he owned 5% of the shares. Woosung waited like a predator prowling for an unsuspecting rabbit. Meanwhile, the stock price continued to soar. Suddenly, Woosung's assistant came into his room in a hurry. "Sir, Daeyoung will be releasing its new Android-based smartphone named The One. The press release is to take place at their headquarters soon." Woosung was expecting this news. He ordered quickly, arrange a press release in Silicon Valley at the same time for Blue S2. His assistant moved post-haste to make calls. Blue S2 was completed a long time ago, but Woosung had been waiting to release it until Daeyoung finished its new phone. Young Jin Sup and his father talked quietly. "Your friend Kang Woosung is amazing. It is not easy for even the best of us to come up with $50 million this fast. He made $600 million from Blue S's sales. 50 million is nothing to him." Young Hyesung laughed. "Wow, you are so smart for having a friend like that. Is he a classmate of yours from Seoul University?" "No. I met him at the KYLO meeting. We hit it off right away." "Huh, good job. It is always smart to have friends like him when you are a businessman. You never know when you'll need help. That's exactly why I befriended him." "Great." Young Hyesung looked at his son proudly, but his gleeful countenance changed into that of a frown suddenly. "But father, the stock price has gone up so fast. It will be okay till it hits $30. I looked into the current situation and found out that DNK has no intention of operating MOX. DNK is apparently one of those companies that buys cheapened companies and sell after normalizing it. It was a false rumor Woosung had Alex spread. He actually had an opposite intention." Young Jin Sup asked, "So after the hostile M&A, they improve the company and sell it at a profit?" "That's right. But you are one of the major shareholders, which means the company will end up back in your hands." "Exactly." Young Jin Sup said angrily, "When we get back the company, the first thing I'll do is get rid of Kwok Mingu." "I agree. We'll start fresh." Daeyoung headquarters. Choi Taemin walked in front of a giant screen and announced, "Hello everyone. I am Daeyoung Systems Choi Taemin." The screen changed to a photo of Daeyoung's new phone, The One. "It is my honor to introduce you our very first Android-based smartphone, The One. It has a memory of 512 megabytes, many amazing apps, and a 4.0-inch screen. Choi Tae-min described the phone in detail proudly. Meanwhile, at the same time, Woosung was busy releasing Blue S2 in Silicon Valley. He explained in front of the reporters. Blue S2 will become the new icon of innovation. Everything has been upgraded from its first version. You will now be able to use your phone as a subcomputer, and we aren't done yet. We will not stop here, we'll continue to improve our product until our smartphones can replace your desktop completely. A few sample phones were then handed to the reporters for monkey testing. After trying out the phones, the reporters became excited. They started asking questions to Woosung. Currently in Korea, Daeyoung is in the process of releasing the one, which will be your competition. How do you feel about that? Competition is a good thing. I believe in a fair rivalry. After answering all the questions, Woosung made his last comment. I still haven't shown you the best part of Blue S2. Woosung placed his thumb on the home button. It rang, and the phone unlocked. Fingerprint recognition function. You no longer have to go through the inconvenience of inputting your pattern or password. The reporter's eyes widened in surprise. At the same time in Korea. After Choi Tae-min's introduction, special guests TK Telecom CEO and Andy Rubin appeared. TK's Jun Tae-won announced, "This is the best cell phone out there. Every great technology from Daeyoung has been placed into this product." Next was Andy Rubin, who delivered a prepared speech. With the cooperation from Daeyoung, we were able to create the best phone Android can achieve. LU Telecom CEO also added, just like the name, it will be the one the customers choose. Suddenly, one of the staffs approached Choi Tae-min and whispered, "Sir, KND just announced fingerprint recognition function on their cell phone." What? Why didn't we know about this? That is, we missed it. I'll talk to you later. At the same time in Silicon Valley. Woosung's phone vibrated. It was a text from Alex. Young Jin-sup just acquired 7%. A notice will be released soon. Woosung checked online. Share major hold report. Young Jin-sup 7% acquisition for an investment purpose. It was the news Woosung was waiting for. He called Alex. Do it. Yes, sir. News release. Legend 1, 2 IPs have been transferred to DNK. Any game-related operations to be outsourced to DNK. Immediately, MOX stock price dropped 15%, and it continued to decline the next day. -15%. -15%. -15%. It happened so fast that there was no chance to sell the stocks. Usually, in dramatic cases like this, there would have been an outcry from all the minor shareholders, but it wasn't the case this time. It was because the majority of the shares were owned by Young Jin-sup, Young Hyesung, and Woosung. It also didn't appear on the news actively as there was bigger news. Daeyoung Systems the one to be launched on February 10th. Blue S2 to be released in Korea on January 25th. Will Daeyoung's the one become the next Nokia or Apple? Blue S2's new fingerprint function is a big hit. Blue S2 considered the most innovative phone so far. Because of the release of 2 new smartphones, no one cared about MOX's news. In fact, most gamers preferred DNK being in charge rather than MOX's old way. The online game forum was filled with comments favoring DNK. Don't you guys think DNK is doing a better job than MOX? It's true that they respond much faster to complaints. Bug patch is faster too. Young Jin-sup stared at the screen with an open mouth. The stock price that was close to being $30 until yesterday was now a little over $10. How could this happen? Who the hell is causing this? He shuddered uncontrollably. He tried to sell his stocks before he bleeds more money, but it was no use. Everyone was trying to sell, and no one was buying. MOX was now a useless company. Young Jin Sup had no choice but to stare at the screen as the price continued to fall. However, this wasn't even the worst part. Illegal activities by the ex-directors of MOX were reported. All trading of MOX stocks has been suspended until further notice. Young Jin Sup's eyes widened. Illegal activities? What did that mean? He searched the news online and finally found a small article. MOX's ex-directors have been charged with using an illegal master account to manipulate the online game Legend. An investigation is underway. Young Jin Sup swallowed. Only a select few knew about the master account. Young Jin Sup gritted his teeth. Did Kwok Minga rat on us? He could think of only one person. He wanted to find Kwok Minga right now and send him to a world of pain. His cell phone was vibrating constantly. It was a call from his father Young Hyesung. Money was no longer their biggest problem. They could end up in jail at this rate. At the KYLO meeting in a mansion on Sungbukdong, Young Jin Sup sweated profusely as he begged Hong Minwook, who was the son of the law firm Wajung CEO. Please help me out here. Once I get to sell my stocks, I will have the money to pay you then. I can't help you for free. You know how it is. Our law firm charges big money, but we get the job done. That's why I'm asking. You can't mean you don't even have $1 million for deposit. Hong Minwook looked at Young Jin Sup with pity. Everyone knew about MOX's situation. Suddenly, Woosung walked in. Everyone stared at him. Shin Semi turned to him too. He looked good in a clean suit. He walked with a relaxed demeanor into the room. Hong Minwook ran to Woosung and greeted him. Thank you so much for hiring my firm to represent KND in Coconut Service. Woosung smiled. We are friends, so of course we should help each other out. My father also wanted to visit you and thank you in person. He has informed all of us that any work related to KND will always be our priority. Thank you, and I would love to meet your father for dinner sometimes. Woosung patted his shoulder. Hong Minwook said to him in awe, I can't believe your net profit is $700 million, and it will be even more next year. It's all thanks to my employees. I also heard Coconut Service is doing equally well. Over 10 million users. I also heard you are planning to get into the Chinese market. Yes. We are working very hard. That's amazing, and you are so young. Hong Minwook looked at Woosung with respect. Young Jin Sup watched them with anger. Woosung walked towards Young Jin Sup and asked, Hey, why haven't you been answering my call? I have been really busy. You need to sign off on transferring your building to me per our contract. Young Jin Sup laughed awkwardly. Oh, of course. We'll get it done. You can buy it back if you want to. You borrowed almost $200 million from me, so you must have enough money left still. You didn't spend all the money on buying the stocks, did you? $200 million. Everyone's eyes widened as they eavesdropped on their conversation. They were all wealthy, but not enough to lend someone $200 million. Just how much money does he have? How did he make so much? Young Jin Sup stammered guiltily, that is, just please be patient. Once the trading suspension gets lifted, I will have enough money. Woosung frowned. It's not ideal, but I guess for you, I will wait. Young Jin Sup finally smiled. Thanks. It will happen soon, you'll see. Woosung smiled as well. He turned to Hong Minwook and asked, how much does it cost to hire your firm? 1 million as a deposit and the rest will depend on the case. We probably could get him out of any jail time, but it will cost a lot. Woosung turned to Young Jin Sup. Do you have any other collateral you can use? I can lend you more money with the same conditions. Really? Of course. Things need to work out for you so I can get my money back. But I feel bad for borrowing so much money from you. Woosung laughed and said kindly, it's all right. As long as you have solid collateral, it's all good. Young Jin Sup nodded cautiously. I can use my house if you don't mind. Woosung bowed and replied respectfully, all right. I will get my lawyer to contact you tomorrow. Great. Thank you. Young Jin Sup then left the meeting. Hong Minwook approached Woosung again and whispered, are you sure this is okay? You already lent him $200 million. It's all right. We are pretty close. Shin Semi suddenly came to Woosung and asked, hey, can I talk to you in private? She looked gorgeous as usual. Woosung nodded. A separate room was set aside for private conversations. It was soundproofed in case people needed to share sensitive information. Shin Semi explained, KYLO meetings may look like they are arranged to help each other out, but it's actually the opposite most of the times. Woosung nodded. He knew this already. The business world is a dog-eat-dog kind of world. They are here to sniff out any weakness in each other so they can use it. Woosung took a sip of whiskey. He wondered why Shin Semi was being kind to him. He stared at her eyes. She asked, don't you know what you just did will be used against you? Woosung wanted to tell her the truth, that he did it on purpose. Instead, he asked her, Advisor Shin, don't you know that when you give me sincere advice like this, you are giving me a mixed signal? To get me to a private room with you alone. Are you trying to tell me something? Shin Semi reddened. Woosung continued to make light of the conversation. Don't worry. I know you don't mean anything by it. Shin Semi cleared her throat. Woosung continued slowly, I hate sounding like an hole, but I am doing very well nowadays. I appreciate your concern, but I know what I'm doing. What I did today was on purpose. On purpose? It will be useful for me to have everyone here know how well I'm doing. Well, I guess it's nice for you to have a lot of people fawning over you. But it's rare to have a genuine friend. Shin Semi asked quickly, am I one of the genuine ones? You are one of the few who knew me from the beginning. You are always so vague. Woosung replied quickly, invest in KND. It will get much bigger. Shin Semi laughed at Woosung's confidence. Are you sure? Hey, don't you remember how I predicted the election result? Woosung and Shin Semi both grinned. Shin Semi realized that she always ended up smiling when she was with Woosung. Sometimes she was frustrated with him, but she knew it wasn't his fault. Why did she feel like this around him? Why? Woosung shrugged his shoulders and said to her, let's get out of here now. People are going to think we are doing something inappropriate. Shin Semi said with a disappointed tone, all right. Choi Gichul didn't come to the meeting. After a nice conversation with Lee Sung-hyun, Woosung looked at Jun Tae-won, who was glaring at him. Why is he looking at me like that? Jun Tae-won was looking at him like he wanted to kill him. It was even worse now after Woosung had a conversation with Shin Semi. Jun Tae-won and TK Telecom. Woosung didn't owe him anything. He approached him. It looks like you have something to say to me. Am I wrong? Jun Tae-won calmed down and asked, why don't you supply Blue S to TK? Oh. I already told your company, it's because we are short on the products. We will be able to supply you when the factory in Gimpo is completed. I don't want your lie. I want your truth. Blue S was loved by the customers in the US first, so our priority is them. TK was the one that asked for our phone the last, so why should we take care of you before others? Jun Tae-won hesitated at Woosung's sharp words. Woosung added, you're acting like I owe you anything. It's not like that. I just think it's good to help each other out. Then why did you reject Blue S at the beginning? It wasn't a rejection. It just took us a long time to review your phone properly. Well, we are doing the same thing. We are reviewing your company properly. Jun Tae-won gritted his teeth. He had to be rational and logical. He replied, how is it going with Blue S2? S1 was a huge success, so you must have manufactured enough Blue S2 for everyone. True, but the demand is even bigger than expected, so we are still short. TK is willing to take care of the marketing fee for Blue S2 if you supply us. Woosung was surprised, but he hit it well. Jun Tae-won continued, no other telecommunication company will offer you a deal this good. The fact is Blue S2 is already well known that it doesn't require much marketing anyway. So I don't see much merit in your proposal. Then what do you want? Tell me. I want you to promise me that you won't do anything to impede me from becoming the fourth mobile carrier. What if I break that promise? Then I will stop supplying you with the phones. How would you determine if I broke the promise? You might hear a rumor that's false. I have enough sources to figure out things like that. Jun Tae-won realized Woosung was no ordinary man. He answered thoughtfully, I have no plans to stop you from getting into this business, but you will never know what might happen in the future. I will have to talk to my lawyers before agreeing to your terms. That's fine, but you better make a decision quickly. Jun Tae-won nodded gravely. Woosung's apartment. The building's exterior ambience seemed old, but the inside of his apartment was modern and expensive. Woosung looked out the window at Han River and grinned. He was now the biggest businessman at KYLO. Everyone was bowing to his wealth and success. And now I have over 2 million bitcoins. MOX will disintegrate into nothing. I will then hire Young Jin-sup at my new cryptocurrency dealership and get Choi Gichul involved. Slowly, he meant to destroy them. He had the best lawyer in the country, but he couldn't get out of it 100% free. The proof Kwok Mingu and Choi Gillett provided was too damning. Young Jin-sup and his father were busy trying to win the case. Meanwhile, another notice was announced. Due to the lack of transactions, MOX will be delisted. Young Hyesung shouted angrily, damn it. Delisting MOX? How could they? Young Jin-sup asked in a trembling voice, Father, what's happening? Why would they delist it? Son, you need to be smart. Lack of transactions? That's not a good enough reason. We need to appeal it. This would mean all the stocks we hold will be worthless. Young Jin-sup shivered in fear. Young Hyesung grabbed his son's hands. We can survive this. We can do it. Don't worry. Suddenly, Young Jin-sup's phone vibrated. Kang Woosung. He didn't want to talk to Woosung for he was now Young Jin-sup's creditor. Blue S2 release date. Woosung visited TK Telecom's opening event. He has been calling Young Jin-sup but without success. So he's avoiding my calls. Woosung could guess how he was feeling. Young Jin-sup was probably in panic due to MOX's delisting. Woosung couldn't contain his happiness over this news. Young Jin-sup was losing everything. Jun Tae-won, who was standing next to him, murmured. S2 is indeed very popular. It was not in the level of iPhone's popularity, but the line to buy Blue S2 was astounding. Woosung replied, it's still not enough to beat iPhone. I admire your ambition, but too much of it can be poisonous. I will be the judge of that. Jun Tae-won gritted his teeth, but quickly hid his anger and replied, ha ha ha, here comes the very first customer. Ha! Jong-yun? Park Jong-yun exclaimed at Woosung, why, you. Woosung took his hand and shook it, nice to see you. It has been so long. How have you been? I saw you in the newspaper, but I couldn't believe it, so it really was you. What happened last year? Well, lots of things happened. By the way, what are you doing here on a workday? Don't you work? Park Jong-yun reddened at Woosung's joke. It's, well. Let's get going. We can talk later. Jun Tae-won came by and offered Park Jong-yun his hand. Are you President Kang's friend? Park Jong-yun bowed deeply and replied, pardon. Oh, yes. Nice to meet you. Congratulations on becoming the very first customer of Blue S2 at TK. Oh, thank you. Park Jong-yun replied in confusion. Meanwhile, Woosung tried to call Young Jin-sup again but there was no answer. After the event, Woosung and Park Jong-yun got together and went to an expensive Japanese restaurant. Park Jong-yun asked nervously, "Are you sure this place is okay?" "Of course. Haven't you heard how well I'm doing?" "Oh." Park Jong-yun did hear about Woosung's success. "The CEO of KND." Woosung asked, "So how's it going with you?" Park Jong-yun couldn't answer. He hesitated in embarrassment. Woosung said to him understandingly, "Well, I know things are tough for everyone nowadays." Woosung then ate a piece of fresh sushi. Park Jong-yun looked at him curiously and asked, "So how did this happen?" "KND's CEO. I heard you quit your job, but what happened after that?" Park Jong-yun couldn't hide his surprise. Woosung replied, "Lots of things happened. I don't think we have enough time for the entire story. I guess. I would rather hear about you. Maybe I can help you." Park Jong-yun's eyes widened at Woosung's offer. Really? Well, I am the CEO of KND and Coconut Talk. For example, I will be speaking at the job fair at Songwon University and I can let people know about you. Park Jong-yun answered quickly, "Well, I have been applying to many different companies for the past year but none of them called me back for an interview. I even applied to KND but I didn't hear back. My GPA is over 3.0 and my TOEIC score is 800. I just don't know what else I can do. Currently, I'm just working part-time at a convenience store." Woosung thought carefully as he ate another piece of sushi. Park Jong-yun looked at him expectantly and continued, "I have been studying programming really hard. I don't know what else I can do. I know I can do an amazing job if I am given a chance." Woosung pretended to think again. He actually had a use for Park Jong-yun. Woosung said slowly, "What did you say you did the best when you were in the military?" "In the military? I did programming very well, of course." "Not that. Something in the quarters." Disciplining? Establishing seniority and applying clear rules." Park Jong-yun understood quickly. Woosung grinned, "Yup, that's it. I need someone to play good cop and bad cop for me." "I see." Woosung nodded and continued, "I am planning to create another company soon. The problem is I am not good at being a strong disciplinary figure. It also looks bad if the boss acts too bossy nowadays." That's true. If you can do that for me, I am willing to hire you. As a director." Park Jong-yun exclaimed, "Director? That would make me one of the executives." We are friends, so of course. The only thing I'm worried about is if you will be able to do it." "Of course. You know how mean I can be." "I do know that. Just hire me for a year and if I'm no good, you can fire me." Park Jong-yun looked determined. Woosung emphasized, "I would like the company to run very tightly. Like in the military. I was nicknamed the best drill sergeant when I was in the military. Don't worry about a thing. I will run it with a whip." "Great. I already have an office ready, so I will call you later with more details." Park Jong-yun's eyes widened again, Then I'm hired." "Yup. It's almost ready. I am looking to hire developers, so ask Chanjong if he is interested. I will let you know more details once you sign the disclosure agreement." Really? The name of the company is Bitmain. Go to this address. This is the office. Go there and they will make you a business card." Park Jong-yun stared in shock. Woosung emphasized one more time. "Run it tight. You get it, right?" Park Jong-yun nodded vigorously. Daejeong headquarters, Choi Jaitai's office. Choi Jaitai said to Choi Gichul, "Ha ha ha, awesome." Choi Gichul remained quiet. Choi Tae-won asked, "What do you think? Do you think the one will be a hit?" "I'm sure Taemin will find a way." "You're so stupid. He needs to fail for us to survive. Remember that." Choi Gichul nodded gravely. Choi Jaitai laughed evilly. "Ha ha ha. The stock price went down 5% yesterday. Do you know what this means? The market thinks the one is going to fail." Choi Jaitai took a sip of his drink and continued, "There is now a good chance that I will be the next heir to this company. Don't worry. I will take care of you." Choi Gichul nodded rigidly. "Choi Taemin needs to fail for us to succeed. Make sure you don't help him out in any way, got it?" Choi Gichul nodded again. He had no choice. Choi Taemin's office was tense. TK is doing its best to market Blue S2. They let us know that they already lost iPhone, so they can't lose Blue S2. Choi Taemin sighed deeply. Blue S2 was released a week before the one's launch date. Do you think this was a coincidence? I think KND is treating us as its rival. And how is part supply going? I asked that department, but Choi Jaitai made sure Daeyong continues to provide electronic supplies to KND. Choi Taemin hit the desk loudly. His assistant stood nervously. Choi Taemin screamed in anger. How could he supply our competitor? That bastard. They are also supplying semiconductors to iPhone. Choi Taemin sighed. He asked his assistant, "How do you think the one will do?" Daeyong placed everything it has into this phone. It will be a success. Choi Taemin leaned back. I'm so stressed. You know what to do. Yes, sir. The assistant left the room. Daeyong System Laboratory in Suwon. Go Sang-jun was busy with the hard test for the one to be released soon. Beep. On the screen, which was connected to the phone, the temperature appeared. 34.50 C. Go Sang-jun looked at it in confusion. That's strange. He tried on a few more apps. Beep. The real-time temperature went up even more. 35 C. Sir, this is strange. Wait a minute. It might be just a temporary blip. Everyone nodded and continued to monitor, but the temperature wouldn't go down. Suddenly, the phone exploded. Chief. Huh. After a small spark, the phone continued to smoke. Go Sang-jun yelled at the workers, "Why are you guys standing around? Get to work. We need to log this incident and figure out what's wrong." Go Sang-jun called the development team director immediately. Sir, the one's battery exploded during a test. What's the cause? It is still unclear. I just wanted to report to you right away first. Did it happen at every test? No. This was the first and only time so far. The director sighed in relief. Well, at least that's good news. Do you think it will be okay to release the phone to the public like this? We only have a week till the launch, and the one has been marketed as the phone with the best battery. The chief didn't give a clear answer. He continued, "Try to find out what the problem is, but we need to keep the launch date. If we delay it, we will all lose our jobs." Go Sang-jun swallowed nervously. He was well aware of how important this phone was to Daeyong. Jang Guangchul smiled and asked Woosung, "Do you know how long it took Apple to sell 1 million iPhones?" Woosung answered without interest, "About a week." "Only 3 days. Then how about our phone?" Jang Guangchul grinned. Woosung could guess. 2 days. Exactly. We are a huge success. Blue S2 beat iPhone in sales. Woosung replied, "I told you so." Young Jin-sup kissed Woosung's cheek. "I love you, man. So this means there must be a big increase in the number of coconut users." Over 20 million globally. Woosung nodded. Zhang Guangchul continued, the mobile carrier business is also going according to plan. We created a corporation already and are in the process of hiring the developers. Zhang Guangchul calmed down and asked Woosung. Did you get permission from the government yet? We will once we are ready. Perfect. We are going to be beyond rich. Woosung nodded and turned to Hong Su-bum. I think it's time we go ahead with the Chinese launch. How's it going there? Hong Su-bum gave his report nervously. China. Over 1 billion in population. Its market was limitless. According to my research, HH by Tencent is the most popular messenger in China. It is expected that it will continue its success on smartphones. Woosung frowned. I thought WeChat was the most popular messenger in China, am I remembering it wrong? Woosung's memory of the Chinese market from his previous life was unclear. Hong Su-bum continued, mobile market in China is still at its early stage, so I couldn't find the specifics of which companies are developing new mobile messengers. However, I suspect there are at least a few who are working on it. Woosung suddenly remembered. Oh, so that means HH will slowly disappear and the mobile version of WeChat will become the next big messenger. Hong Su-bum continued, and I also looked into DJI. They are in the process of developing something called a drone, but not much information is available. There was still much time until drones became popular. Woosung nodded. Hong Su-bum added, and the company called Xiaomi doesn't exist yet. Ali is a company that specializes in electronics and it is growing fast. It doesn't want our investment. After mentioning a few more companies, Hong Su-bum reported, and that's the end of the major Chinese IT companies. I am confident KND's Blue S and Coconut Talk will become a success in China. As you said before, Woosung, we will be the first to introduce smartphones to the Chinese market. Everyone turned to Woosung, who replied, the most important thing here is customizing our products to fit the Chinese people. China is a communist country and will not easily allow foreign products to succeed. Hong Su-bum added, I contacted many of the Chinese government officials to make acquaintances. It will be useful in the future. So you are pretty much ready. Yes. We are also almost done hiring local developers. We also built a factory in China to minimize any objections from the locals. Then let's arrange the opening ceremony to take place at the end of this month. We'll all visit China together. Everyone nodded in agreement. After the meeting, Woosung greeted a visitor. It was Young Jin Sup. He couldn't meet Woosung's eyes. Woosung knew why. MOX stock was delisted permanently. Majority of Young Jin Sup's money was tied to MOX's stocks and now he had nothing. Woosung asked, so what are you planning to do now? Young Jin Sup couldn't answer. His father was still going through the trial. Young Jin Sup didn't know what to do. Woosung told him encouragingly, you can still make it. Just create another game like Legend, and you will get back on your feet soon. Young Jin Sup sighed. He replied, I am in the process of selling my building and my house. I will be able to get about $60 million for them. He owed Woosung $55 million, which meant Young Jin Sup still would have $5 million left. It was still more than Woosung wanted him to have. I will pay you back first. Woosung's eyes widened. Did Young Jin Sup borrow from others too? Thank you. Young Jin Sup sighed again. Woosung offered quietly, I will be opening a new company soon. Would you be interested in being a part of it? Are you talking about the mobile carrier business? Not that one. I am referring to the cryptocurrency dealership. Cryptocurrency. Young Jin Sup appeared to not know about it. Woosung explained, it's called Bitcoin. It is a new type of currency to achieve decentralization. Bitcoin. Decentralization. Young Jin Sup didn't understand. Woosung continued, just think of it as a new electronic currency. It is to gain people's trust in transactions and exchange values. Jung Jin-sup started to understand. He asked sharply, and are you telling me people trust bitcoins? Not yet. It is a brand new industry, but think about it. What would it be like when it does gain people's trust? Its value will be limitless. Jung Jin-sup was still doubtful. He shook his head and replied, I still can't believe it. Even if it works, I can't believe it will actually be used by regular people. Woosung lowered his voice and said quietly, but there is one more very important thing. Jung Jin-sup stared at Woosung's eyes. Woosung was the man who created Blue S and Coconut Service. Jung Jin-sup knew he couldn't take Woosung's ideas lightly. Woosung continued, I am not planning to buy this currency. I am going to create a dealership for it. Dealership? It's like a stock market where people can buy and sell cryptocurrency. We will charge a transaction fee and that is how we would make money. Jung Jin-sup started to look interested. Woosung said confidently, it will happen, mark my word. People will become interested in it, and then different types of cryptocurrencies will be created. There will be a huge need for a dealership. Don't you agree? Jung Jin-sup nodded. I am only offering it to you because I believe in your ability. Oh, all right. Just give me some time to think about it. You need to let me know as soon as possible. Bitcoin is at the beginning stage, but once it gains momentum, it will be too late for us. Jung Jin-sup looked at Woosung hopefully. Woosung grinned. He knew he had Jung Jin-sup. A building near Sunliang Station. Park Jong-yun shouted as soon as he entered the office. Why is the office so unorganized? Doesn't anybody clean it regularly? 5 employees all turned around to stare at him. Park Jong-yun asked, who is responsible for general affairs? A cute woman raised her hand. Park Jong-yun ordered, order my business cards right away. Director Park Jong-yun. Pardon? Have you not heard the news yet from the boss? This is my first day. Oh. Her eyes widened. She did remember Alex telling her. I will be in the US for a while, so I am sending you someone in my place. Then suddenly, someone else walked in the office. Jung Jin-sup. He ended up accepting Woosung's offer. Woosung told him he didn't have to invest until things got better. Jung Jin-sup was also to receive a salary. Park Jong-yun looked at Jung Jin-sup and said rudely. Wow, look at this. Do you know what time it is? Jung Jin-sup stared back and asked, are you talking to me? Obviously, you dumb ass, and who do you think I am? I am the representative director of this company. Don't you know who your boss is? Jung Jin-sup reddened. Jung Jin-sup stammered. Are you crazy? You are the one who's crazy. What do you do here? I am a director. Park Jong-yun flinched, but then remembered Woosung's assurance. No matter what anyone says, you are the representative of the CEO. This means you are basically the acting CEO until further notice. You are the boss. Don't forget what your role is in this company. Park Jong-yun replied confidently, who cares? I am the CEO's representative. They argued like little kids. The other employees laughed at them secretly. Jung Jin-sup couldn't calm down. He had never been treated like this before. He asked, Do you know who I am? You just said you are a director here. So what? Is there anything else I need to know? Jung Jin-sup was fuming, but Park Jong-yun continued rudely. Do you think this is a joke? Don't you get that I am your boss? This is ridiculous. It was now clear, Park Jong-yun was above Jung Jin-sup. Jung Jin-sup left the office in anger. He screamed as he walked out, we'll see. Jung Jin-sup called Woosung. Hey, how could you? That guy is the boss. Woosung stopped himself from laughing and replied calmly, you're being rude. He is a representative of a major investor and that is why he has that position. You can't act like that. I can't do this. Why don't you buy back the shares you sold to that guy, or open another company? Woosung paused so Young Jin-sup thought he was thinking about it seriously. He then replied, having investors minimizes the risks. You know that very well. He belongs to a big investor who also has a lot of influence in US finances. We need him. But this is unacceptable. Woosung raised his voice slightly. Didn't I tell you how important it is to have a US connection? He is a very important investor that got me where I am today. I was a mere employee at Nuri Finances only a year ago. Woosung paused before continuing dramatically. He made me who I am today. He is the one who taught how to analyze data. Young Jin-sup had no reason not to trust Woosung. He said helplessly, so there is no other choice. If you don't like it, then you can leave at any time. When there was no answer, Woosung continued, don't you want to reclaim your throne? Just trust me. Young Jin-sup finally agreed and hung up. When he returned to the office, Park Jong-yun said to him callously, well, look who came crawling back. Get back to work. The number one rule in MY Company is excellent time management. Got it? Young Jin-sup gritted his teeth, but he walked to his desk. Damn it. I will make you pay for this. Woosung laughed as soon as he hung up the phone. Ha 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 ha. After the call, Woosung walked into the VIP departure lounge in Incheon International Airport. Jang Guangchul asked Woosung, what are you planning now? Ha ha ha. Nothing. You. Woosung could guess what Jang Guangchul was thinking. Haha, it's not what you think. It has nothing to do with money. You know you can't lie to me, right? I know. Just then, they heard the announcement for the flight. Woosung and his employees got onto the plane to China. There was a total of 8 passengers including Park Byung-ki, Jang Guangchul, and Hong Soo-bum. Woosung bought first-class tickets for everyone. The lower-ranking employees murmured among themselves in shock. This is my first time ever being on the first-class seat. This is amazing. Oh my god, you can lay down. Free drinks. It's like a hotel. Did you see the meal? We are going to get 3-course meals including steaks. Park Byung-ki asked Woosung worriedly, is it okay to spend so much of company money like this? Woosung answered loudly so everyone could hear him, it's okay to do so if it's necessary. All our employees need to maintain good health for our products to turn out great. This is how we will make our Blue S smartphone the best in the world. Jang Guangchul also added. By the way, Lee Ari will be joining us for the opening ceremony. As you suggested, we hired her as the spokesmodel for Let Chat service. The commercial will be aired starting next month. Woosung asked, we spent $2 million for her, right? Jang Guangchul stammered, that's right. And how popular is Lee Ari in China? Jang Guangchul remained quiet. He made a fuss when Woosung made this deal, but it was nowhere near Lee Ari's worth in China now. After her last TV series became popular in China and other Asian countries, Lee Ari's popularity was through the roof. Suddenly, Lee Ari and her manager walked in. She greeted Woosung, long time no see, sir. Woosung smiled and replied, wow, it has been a while. I haven't seen you since the day of our TV commercial shoot. Her manager smiled awkwardly. Lee Ari said to Woosung, that's right. It was the day you stood me up at a hotel. Ha, that sounds strange when you say it like that. Oh, I'm surprised you care. I apologize. Lee Ari replied sarcastically. Woosung sweated profusely and apologized, I am so sorry about that. I had a good reason, but it still is unacceptable. I am truly sorry. It's alright. I got a good dinner out of it. While Woosung smiled uncomfortably, another woman and a man walked in. Sona and her manager. Since she was hired for the coconut talk, her popularity has gone up significantly to a point that she was now at the same level as Li Ari. When Yusona saw Woosung, she flinched. Zhang Guangchul grinned and explained, "Oh, I forgot to tell you. I also asked Yusona to join us. She is very popular in China as well. You approve, right?" Woosung was now sweating visibly. Zhang Guangchul grinned knowingly. Woosung smiled awkwardly and replied, "Why, yes. Good job." Finally, the announcement was made for everyone to take a seat and fasten their seat belts. The one opening event. Daeng's Choi Taemin attended himself to boost its sales. Jun Tae-won whispered to Choi Taemin. "TK is doing everything it can to make the one's launch a success. Thank you for your hard work." While they chatted, the name of the one's first buyer was announced. "Congratulations to Kim Nam-young. You are the first owner of the one. How do you feel?" "I can't believe it." Choi Taemin hired a famous MC for this event. He wanted to make it into as big of an occasion as possible. The MC asked excitedly, "So Nam-young, who would you like to call first with your new phone?" "My parents." "Then do it." Kim Nam-young dialed. When she placed the phone against her ear, she felt it becoming warm. Quickly, her mother answered. "Mom, it's me." "Oh, what's going on?" "I got the very first the one from Dae-young." Suddenly, the phone became too hot for Kim Nam-young. She dropped it, and as the phone hit the ground, it started to smoke. Everyone stared in shock. -12%. That day, Dae-young's system stock dropped to its lowest price ever. Do you like this video? Let me know by giving it a thumbs up and leaving a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on my future uploads.